On this episode of Captain's Tales, we're angling for the mighty redfish that inhabit southwest Florida's 10,000 islands.
Oh yeah, I like it. Oh yeah, that's a good one right there. You put up a good battle. There he is. Just fight to the end. Look at that.
Throughout maritime history, there have been experts on the water who knew how to navigate and locate their bounty. These individuals held the secrets to where, when, and how. This still holds true today. Get ready for an angling experience filled with sea secrets, fantastic fishing, and great destinations. For on this show, it's only the captain and the camera. We're headed out Goodland, Florida with our guide, Captain Donnie Kish.
There happens to be this big, gnarly oyster bar that's right in my way. So we're gonna stop and check it out. Sometimes these outside bars will hold real good quality fish. We're gonna check that out, then we'll slip further into the backcountry and see if we can't find us some redfish. We're fish a little bit unorthodox. Most of the time you wouldn't anchor or set up directly on top of a bar. But with the way the tide's moving and the way the wind's fighting against it, I've staked us off dead on top of the shallowest part of the bar because it's a real long, narrow bar. And I'm throwing baits up and letting them work down the edges. If I was to stake off out in front of it, the wind would pull them out, so the bait wouldn't stay in the strike zone. So I guess we'll just stay here as long as the tide will let us, because you don't want to get stuck on top of this oyster bar. That's one thing I love about these long rods. Redfish love to fight you underneath the boat. With an 8-foot, 7.5, 8-foot rod, you got plenty to get down, get the line below the hull so they can't duke you on your own boat. That's a very empty feeling to lose a fish on your own boat. Keep him away from the trolling motor. Oh, that's a big red. Gotcha. Oh yeah. Oh. That is a fine slob of a redfish. It's about 30-incher. Way over slot. Won't do you a bit of good in a tournament, but boy, they fight good. It's thumping for us. Let's get that bad boy back in the water. Don't want to abuse him too much, although these guys are pretty hardy. Oh yeah, you're gonna have to revive him. He's trying to get going now. See ya, buddy. You go tell your friends I'm giving away free shiners. Sweet. Catch some more of those. Awfully nervous. He's swimming out from that little pocket. There he is. What do we got? What do we got? Aha! Redfish. He wants to battle by the boat. Either that or, okay, now he's waking up. I'm like, I don't think he knows he's hooked just yet. There he goes. Oh, get out of them bushes. Out of them bushes. Ah, there you go. Nice. This is slot red here. Over there, rod here. Oh yeah, that is a good redfish. Oh yeah, I like it. I'll tell you what, if you get a chance to see them when they're sitting on the bottom in this kind of off water, all you'll see is this little fin right here standing up like this, and it ripples, it undulates. It's the coolest thing to see. The first time I saw it, I stood there staring at it going, what is that? Some kind of a snake or an eel or something in the water? What is that? Whoa. Oh, here we go, here we go. Another sleep? No, okay, this one knew from the get-go. I thought he was another sleeper. Oh yeah, that's a nice slot red. Look, yeah, some of them will take you to school in the bushes where you just ain't getting them out. And other ones, they'll follow you right out, race to the boat, and then fight you all around the boat for 5 minutes. And they're real good at shaking jigs because of the angle that they got you when they're close to the boat. These fish are good at getting away. Yeah, I don't like this a bit. Oh, that's a good boy. That's a good boy. Don't be jumping out of the boat now. Come over here. Oh yeah, that hook is in there good. Them circle hooks. I tell you what, if you let them do their job, they really do their job. This hook is lodged right in that hard bone in the crook of their mouth. You can see where it goes in right there. And boy, it gets buried in there so deep. There it goes. You got to kind of unscrew it to get it out. But, you know, I was saying before about the way the fin looks on these redfish before he bit me and swam away, is when it's sitting in the water, you know, at peace without us messing with it and he's not spooked, they sit there and this fin just kind of waves back and forth and undulates. And when the water's off colored like this in here, usually the only thing you can see is just a little bit of dark and you'll see that fin move. It's really strange. Half the time you won't even see the tail. And the first time I saw it, I couldn't figure out what it was till I flipped a jig over there and caught it. But it's pretty cool looking. Let's get this girl back in the water. Thank you, baby. Thank you. I think there might be a few fish in here. Today we're fishing for redfish in the 10,000 Islands. We'll just go over the tackle. I fish a little lighter tackle than most. This rod is a St. Croix Legend inshore. It's a 8 to 12 medium with 6-pound braid. Typically with this braid, because it's so small, I'll use a 30-pound leader fishing for reds. And fluorocarbon helps quite a bit because sometimes they're under a lot of pressure. And real simple uni knot to uni knot. And with this 6-pound, it actually holds better if you don't double the line. Typically I double the line and then do a uni. With this, if you just go more wraps with the braid, it seems to hold up a lot better. So I go 8 to 10 with the braid and pull it down. And one thing when you're rigging on a boat, if you don't already know it, if you put your rod in a rod holder, it's like having a third hand. With the mono, I only do 2 wraps. It keeps the knot real small so it'll pass through the guides. And make sure you cinch it down real good before you slide it against the other knot, or it has a habit of sliding over the knot. Now, one of the most important things is this little owner bead. You got to put that right on the tip, and you're pretty much going to poke yourself every time doing it, and slide that right down here. Now these owner makes these little number 3 beads. Really not sure what they're intended for, but they work real good on these hooks. You slide these beads down, not quite to the midway point of the hook. See how it's a little closer to the point than the center? That is going to keep your bait from spinning around too much on this hook. You'll see this bead stops that bait from sliding around further. See, these hooks are super slick. So without that bead, it could slide all the way up, and then it would spin around like this and poke into the bait. Actually, I'll take and move this bead out of the way so I can show you what I'm talking about. See, without that bead, that shiner can slide real easy on there, and trust me, it happens a lot. And that hook will spin around and go just like that into the head, and most of the time it spins this way, so it goes into their gills. And it'll poke into their gills like that. Now, if your hook's like that, snook or a redfish comes along and eats it, stuck in the bait, not the fish. So, oh man, I lost him. No way you're gonna hook a fish like that. So, those little beads don't look very important, but they are. That little bead's down there. Now when a fish bites it, thump, that circle hook just grabs. First thing it comes to, corner of the mouth, it'll grab every time. Just rolls right into it, fish is hooked. If you put your rod in a rod holder, it's like having a third hand up here. These rod holders, I installed these up here just to help me rig and to help me unhook fish. You know, if you're fishing by yourself, there's been a lot of rods lost because people lay them down, miss the fish, and the fish takes off and the rod bottle rockets out. You know, rod holder, that it's not going anywhere unless you were fishing 30 or 40 pound test. You know, with 10 pound, you don't have to worry about it. It's going to stay in that rod holder. But now I have both hands free to deal with this pretty redfish. So I'm going to get my boga grip here and open up. There we go. Oh, bump, bump, bump. Oh, yeah. Thump, thump, thump. And surprise, surprise, circle hooked right in the corner of the mouth. Right where it's supposed to be.
From the Gulf of Mexico oyster bars to the 10,000 Islands backcountry, Captain Donnie keeps on the move to locate the pods of feeding redfish.
Got a wind rip right here on this flat, and it wouldn't surprise me to have redfish laying out right on where that wind blows and moves the mullet around. It wouldn't surprise me a bit. There he is. Oh yeah, that's good. Back this drag off a little bit next to the boat. We're popping that hook out. See? Giving an inch, take a mile. Out fishing by myself, just playing. You get so caught up in fighting the fish and, you know, watching the fish move the way they move and stuff. Next thing you know, you look up, you're 3 foot away from the bushes and a fish whoops you in the bushes. It's like, that's a good one. Oh yeah, that's a good one right there. Oh, boy, I tell you what, look at that circle hook. Right in that hard corner where you got to unscrew it to get it out. That's a nice fish. Oh, yeah, poke that fin back up there. There you go. Come on, pose. Good girl. Didn't know I had these fish trained, did you? All right, let's let her go. Ready? Yeah, I know. Think she's ready. When they half snatch you out of the boat, it's a good indicator that they're ready to go. All right. Well, I'm glad I stepped back up to the 10-pound. I'd have been fishing that 6-pound. That fish would have whooped me bad. Where fish? He picked it up. Redfish. There has got to be a slew of redfish in here, out in the middle of the bed. The fish will sit out across this and just kind of wait for things to get brought to them, heading towards that creek. And I pulled some real big snook and redfish, just fishing out in the middle of this thing. Okay, when you hit that far away, you don't have that kind of energy at the boat. And he's still got a little left. Corner of the mouth every time. Yeah. Open up now. A little over slot, but a fine fish. Her in the water. See if we can't get some more. Oh, yeah. Tell you what, this water's a little bit cooler. I'm not having to revive these fish. As soon as I set them in the water, they're gone. Oh yeah, nice redfish. Oh, he woofed that thing. Yeah. Get out from under. Oh man, that fish. Oh, he just boiled up the bushes. Oh, out of there, out of there, out of there. When the fish get underneath those bushes like that, a longer rod, and even a shorter rod, if you have to get down on one knee, get your rod down low like this, right down by the bottom. And they will pass underneath most of the roots. I mean, it's not a guarantee that you're gonna save the fish, but you seriously increase your odds. But he is big. Yeah, he's a slot. Okay, I didn't think he was that much bigger, but he is. And he knows it. Man, that thing is fighting like a cat. That fish had me in them bushes about 3 different times. Man, I'll tell you what, those things just fight to the end. Look at that. That's beautiful. Man, I like this. All right, let's let this girl go. Give me your tail. Whew. This is, I just can't tell you. In this area, you just don't catch redfish like that. You know, all of our redfish are slot fish. And most of what we caught have been over slot. This is a good problem to have.
Try one more fishing spot online. Log on to www.captainstales.com. Closed captioning brought to you by Moonlighter Push Poles and Nets. Join us again next week for another episode of Captain's Tales, and try one more fishing spot online. Log on to www.captainstales.com.